So, where I was going with this before our technical difficulties, people put way too much pressure on themselves, especially when they're in a relationship. Whatever stage that is, brand new, or you guys have been married for decades.
Pressure and comparison. I think that's a lot of what it comes to. If you're on the relationship side or the single side.
Yes, the single side, you feel like you need to be with somebody.
And
which could also lead you into thinking, because it is at the very beginning of the year, and you probably spent some time with somebody over Christmas, over New Year's, and you had a great freaking time. But at the end of the day, you need to think about it for yourself. And is this person really right for me? Or are you just caving in because you don't want to be alone on Valentine's Day?
Have you heard the new Miley Cyrus song?
I'm so tired of that fucking song.
It has been playing a lot. I will say that.
It is just a rinse and repeat of Bruno Mars, and remixed version of Bruno Mars' song.
No, Bruno Mars talks about buying someone else flowers.
I said remixed. It is the same fucking thing, though.
It's a self-love anthem, though. And I don't think... When I'm used to hearing just like all these love songs or like club songs about fucking that, like
getting drunk, getting with somebody.
Song being on the radio about loving yourself, and that like even in the absence of other people, being able to take care of yourself, I think is good.
I get that message. I really do. I just don't like the fact that it is... I mean, I'm not a songwriter, obviously, so good for her. But it's just a rinse and repeat and a remix of
so much of art and music is that.
Hell, look at our media and our TV shows and movies.
Yeah,
a lot of it's fucking rinsed and repeated, and there's a whole lot of like sequels that should have just ended.
I think an interesting part of this is dating apps.
Oh God.
And I think we could save going deeper into that till next time.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of our mental health talks and adequacy,
like feeling good about like yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the A in our name.
Oh, authenticity.
This going off the end, the nuances.
Yeah.
A lot of it's going to constantly keep going back into the fact of the world of dating, relationships, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's because look at what sells. Sex sells. And me and you have talked about it.
Okay, yes. It does, and it especially is used in different ways to sell. And it's overdone. And it leads to its over sexualization.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think what sells a lot too is the idea of like companionship, and at least there's a lot of longing for companionship.
Yeah.
And some tech try to make it happen through like dating apps. Some of it does a good job, bad job. One of the things I do like about like dating apps is like you have a sense of why the other person's there.
Yeah.
So some of the conversations earlier about trying to like navigate this dance of like, are they interested? Are they not interested? It's like both people are there for the same reasons.
Yeah.
The problem is that they're also built in a way where they're built to keep you on them.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, to keep you having time and swiping, and a lot of it leads to, I think, these negative funnels, because if you're not doing it right, or you're trying to figure out how to use these platforms and you're not getting matches or conversations with people, you
feel inadequate.
And you go down this negative
You feel
path.
Inferior to your same gender, to other guys.
Yeah.
You start think. I mean, I went down this same thinking. I mean, I took a long break from dating apps for a long time because I started feeling myself getting sucked into that thought process of I am just a piece of shit. Nobody
And I think a
wants
lot
me.
of guys, that is part of their mental health path of getting to like a really dark place.
Yeah.
Is they might not have the same like friend network and support system that like we do, and they're going on these apps for their like some of their like shots at finding someone else in companionship, and they're struggling with how they are built and put together.
Yeah.
And then they're not finding it elsewhere in their life, and it can be this negative loop.
Mm-hmm. And you just keep constantly falling back into it. You feel good about yourself, you'll delete the app. Oh, I should be with somebody, and then I'm got a dating app, and fuck, I feel like shit again, and then just.
And for some, it just keeps going down, where it becomes like hostility,
yes,
and
like
anger,
you said, resentment earlier.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I mean, I took a long break from dating apps because of that. I mean, I actually just recently downloaded a dating app again, just because I mean, I'm single. I've been single for, what did I say?
You said 8 years with some month-long things.
Some month-long things. Here and there, a few months, whatever. But where I see dating apps as like a good thing, and I had actually a good conversation with one girl who ended up ghosting me out of like nowhere. Yeah, I know, which is bullshit at some point. Just tell the person you're not interested, okay? Yeah. Don't just peter off, and then nothing. Just be upfront. Communication is key, right?
Yeah.
Live what you fucking say. Okay? You want communication to be a key part of your relationship and what you stand for? Fucking do it then. Communicate with them. Be honest, truthful.
And at the same time, take care of yourself. Be glowing up in your unique way. Find what makes you confident, because it's gonna take tries.
Yeah, it is. It takes
tries, and it takes energy, and sometimes you'll put it off for career or other reasons.
Or you'll just constantly keep jumping into one thing right after the other when you shouldn't be.
Yeah, there are different ways it can go, but at the end of it, like if you're working on yourself and working on your communication, you will move closer to those types of relationships and connections you want.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is actually a good thing about dating apps is because, so this is where I was going with it. I had a girl I matched with.
Yeah.
And she asked me, like, okay, I told her, okay, I'm an open book. What do you want to know about me? I was like, okay. So she asked, why are you on a dating app? It's like, well, I'm looking for someone with specific values, morals, has a specific drive in their life, their specific needs that they want to have met, and they're using the dating apps as to filter that out, because, you know, it's hard to do that when you just go to like those, you know, typical traditional like dating places, or to pick up people, to meet people. Let's say meet people, not pick up. To meet people is like you going to bars and going out to different parties and stuff like that, where they can filter out what you want and don't want.
And I run into a thing where it's like another great place to meet people is like volunteering or like events where people at that event would share those values.
Yeah.
But then like I'm like super in my head and like don't ever want to, even in those spaces, like complicate it.
It's because you want to come back the next time and not fuck up.
I just don't like stepping. It's hard to make that call in person of when is someone just enjoying your presence and friendly versus like flirting and interested in more. And I mean, maybe I get too much in my head because if you communicate well,
We
they'll
all
take
do.
it as
We all do as human beings get way too in depth in our heads.
because then at the very end, if you do mention it and nothing comes of it, it's just like a nice compliment, and then you both can move on from having that clear communication. But that's still something, I'm working on and figuring out how to navigate. At the very least, with dating apps, you can know why the other people are there because it either says so in their profile or after some text back and forth, you can.
Yeah, it's that big thing of, hey, what are you looking for? What do you like? What's your favorite food? What do you do on the weekend? Yeah, there's all those like first date questions you would normally have like in person. And you're just getting it out of the way. But what the hell do you do on a second date? What the hell do you do on your first date at that point? You're like, hey, how was your day? Okay, cool. Cool, we talked about that already. Cool.
I have some like little traumas about that.
Yeah.
Because one of my relationships, we broke it off because a lot of our conversations were about how our days were going.
Yeah.
And then like it felt less exciting for a period, or like we were potentially hitting that wall of keeping it interesting.
Mm.
And then very quickly after like that happening, and this was like not as serious relationship, like going into it, knew that it was probably had some type of timer to it.
Yeah.
But whenever, like, for multiple times I'm hanging out with someone and it comes back to the day, like, how is someone's day doing? I start freaking out. And, like, what new topic can I talk to this person about?
Yeah.
Because I have some little trauma where I'm like, are they going to leave me if I keep... if a lot of our conversations about how our days are going?
Oh, how's your day going? It's okay. How's your day going? Oh, it's been shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that a lot.
And obviously, like, people's weeks can be different.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And it's, like, good to check in.
Yeah.
But for me, it's, like, that was so close to, like, a big breakup that I wasn't expecting that I started, like, freaking out inside.
Oh, boy. Yeah.